I was very excited to get my little UR UAV UR65 until I tested it out and found that one of my motors wasn't spinning up. As you can see, the front lift motor doesn't work. So because the motors have little plugs on them, you don't have to solder anything to change them. I just swapped the front left for the back right just to see if it was the motor or the ESC that was faulty. And when I swapped the back motor to the front, that motor worked. So it was not the ESC that's at fault, it's the motor that's at fault. So upon closer inspection, I found that indeed on the motor that wasn't spinning, one of the wires had become detached from the motor winding. So it's really hard to see there, but if you look at that little thing sticking out there underneath the 3 sort of, that's the actual motor winding, and that needs to be reattached to the wire there, which I already have tinned up. And I've also tried to tin up just a little bit of that tip there. And in this case, I think you're going to need something really small. This is a 25-watt soldering iron with a pretty small tip. This is what I used. And this is how it looks when it's finished. Even now it's hard to see, but the wire is reconnected to the winding. And I was going to use a piece of heat shrink to seal it up, but I didn't think that was going to get far enough in there, so I have some spray liquid tape. I don't know if you've ever used this, but I just sprayed some of this onto a surface, and then I just got some on the end of a little stick, and then just put that around there to provide some extra support and protection for the new joint. And there it is installed in place. And now let's see if that has indeed fixed it. There, yeah, look, now they're all spinning. Fantastic. Now this thing works. Just want to demonstrate a small thing I like to do on these little UR65 batteries. I like to take a little piece of blender, and you can use just a regular Scotch tape, and wrap it around the end here. This does a couple of things. Number one, it'll stop the battery from sliding forward in a crash, which you don't want to have happen, because there's really nothing holding the battery in but friction, tension. And the other thing it does is, if you wrap it around about here, you can find the best point for your particular quad and batteries. So now that tape is stopping the battery from going anywhere forward, so in a crash it hopefully won't shoot forward and out. But then the other thing it does is, you can bias the battery slightly back from the center, because the camera is a little bit in front of the center of gravity. So you can hold it under here to see how the center of gravity is, and you don't want it to be tilting forward or back. And to get this balanced like this, you want to have the battery biased slightly back. And then by putting this tape in a particular spot, you can A, stop it from sliding forward in a crash, and also B, allow you to position it so you always have a perfect center of gravity, which will just make it fly a little bit better, more consistently, forward and back, and hover. Anyway, my little tip on the battery.